Hello fellow tube surfers, this is Bubba Drew, and welcome back once again to my summer car. I was wondering if I wanted to play this today, but I eventually decided why not. The ice maker again. As you can see, it's rather laggy, and that is because I have lights on. For some strange reason, when I play this game and I turn the lights on, the game just starts to lag like crazy. Para Yarvin Suvi Sprint. Oh, this is the... I think this is the road rally. It's weird, I didn't know that that's what that was. I'm going to keep the lights on, though, at least until the sun rises some more. And we're going to be building this car up for this episode. I will definitely build the engine up, at least. Okay, so, once again, I forgot to lower my microphone on my headset, you see right here. The previous clip, I could barely hear my own self talking. So, now that I have it down, I guess I should give a quick overview of what I've done already. Okay, so what I've done, as I said, I am building the engine. I got 3 pistons in so far. I got the main bearings on, and I got the crankshaft in. Because it's in such early stages right now, it made double and triple checking the bolts really easy. And I checked them over and over and over again. They are tight. So, yeah. Okay. And the last piston. There we go. Put the tool mode on. Okay, where's the... Oh, okay, it's further up. Okay, so it looks like it's further away. Oh yeah, and another thing I must note is I unplugged the phone because, you know, as much as I would like to help the people of Finland, I'm building the car right now. Again. Alright, so now what do we need? Guess we're going to start off with the head gasket, wherever it is. Oh, it's this... Okay. I think I should probably just position it so that it, Okay, well, jumping on the table. Also, I forgot to mention the guide I was using. Okay, I accidentally hit the desk. It's by a guy whose username is Necronomicron. And it's called How to Build Your Summer Car. And it was updated on the 19th of December, 2016. So it's pretty recent and still relevant. And it includes the upgrades you can put on your car. It includes the, like, decorations and stuff. It's a very, very good guide from what I've seen. I just must have done something wrong along the way when I was still building the car. So anyways, the next thing that we are moving on to is the I believe it's the cylinder head. Let me check and make sure. Yeah, it's the cylinder head. So this thing right here, it's crazy. It looks like some sort of a sci-fi movie prop, like some sort of an alien device. Or is that just me? I don't know. Alright, and I guess it takes a 7mm, so we already have the wrench to do that. Also, I realize that they're called spanners, but I'm American, so I call them wrenches. Alright. Oh, geez, my hunger's gone up. Okay, I'm going to tighten these, and I'm going to get myself something to eat. I'm going to make sure that I tighten these. Excuse me for the lack of commentary. I'm concentrating. I'm making sure that I do not miss a thing. Alright, I guess we're gonna go in and have a bite to eat. Alright, cylinder head. Done. Alright, so the next thing is the headers. What we need for this is an 8mm wrench. Gonna get that out right now. Oh yeah, I kind of drew a blank there for a second. Excuse me. Now, I didn't comment this last time I built the engine, but this thing is rusty. Well, then again, the whole car is rusty, but still, this is like rusty on a whole new level. Heck, maybe I should name the car Rusty. Okay, so break out the wrench. I need to check and make sure how many there are, and there's 5 of them. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I don't think there's one at the bottom. 4 and 5. And they're all tightened. Now we move on to the motor hoist. Alright, so it takes 10mm, 10mm wrench that is. Take that. So then it says I need to grab the motor hoist, move it over here. And as I'm moving it, it said that I should be able to see some screws that I need to tighten it in. Maybe I gotta straighten it out. Let me see if that'll work out. Okay. Grab the motor hoist again. Oh, dang it, no, I didn't want to do that. Okay, make sure I'm completely straight with the motor hoist. This is a face of concentration, people. Alright, so I think I got it. Is that it? I don't think so. Wait a minute. I thought I saw something. Ah, okay. There we go. Yeah, I have a feeling that maybe I screwed up with the motor hoist. And, maybe I untightened something I should not have. Excuse me for shifting around. Alright, so now we can just... This will make operating on the motor a lot easier. I'm just going to say that right now. Okay, just do that. I keep hearing a banging noise every time I move something and place it. Maybe that's just the way the game is. Alright, what next? What challenge do you have to throw at me next, game? Alright, so next up is the carburetor. We need an 8mm wrench, and there's about 4 8mm bolts that I have to attach them, so there's that. Where is the carburetor? Oh, it's over here. It's a carburetor. Okay, it goes like here, I believe. Yeah, there we go. And it said it needed 4. I believe it was 4. Let me check again. Alright, it was 4. So, 1, tightened. Attack. 2, tightened. 3, I believe that's the carburetor, and 4. And both are tightened. Is there actually something I can... Oh, okay, that's already tightened. That's the header that I was doing there. Okay, so that's attached. Next up is the rocker shaft, and it also takes an 8mm wrench. So, that's convenient, isn't it? Boom. Now, here's the part where I think I may have screwed up. Because this is where things get really, really delicate really quick. And I gotta make sure that I get everything right. The other thing that the guide mentioned was that there's going to be some things you're going to have to adjust. So, who knows, maybe if I kept my old save, I would have been able to actually tune it and solve my way out. But I'm impatient, so I restarted. Hopefully I can do this right. Actually, now that I think of it, I didn't really look too far into the guide after I finished building the actual car itself. So maybe I should either look further into it or look up an engine tuning guide. I don't know. Many, many ideas. Oh, okay, this is what I was talking about right here. We won't adjust valve train now because the engine doesn't click on default settings. We'll adjust it later, however. But for now, we will just fasten the rocker cover. 7mm wrench times 6. Okay, so rocker shaft, 7mm. No, what the heck was that? I accidentally hit the wrong button. Okay, put it on. Alright, so, you know, the more that I look back in the instructions, the more I think I may have screwed up and didn't look far enough into it. But, oh well, we're here now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When I'm doing this and counting all the numbers, I feel like I'm part of a children's cartoon or something. I'm just like, we're gonna have a count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay, you did it! Alright, so now we're on to the really delicate stuff. And that's the camshaft and the timing belt and all that kind of stuff. So, we just grab the camshaft. I feel like with enough force, you could break this with your own arms. But then again, I don't think anyone should really attempt that. And I don't even know why I thought of that in the first place. Okay, so it goes... Oh, okay, it goes right there. Alright, and then there's the bolts you have to fasten. It also uses what I believe to be the smallest wrench in the game. It's 5mm. Okay, was it just 2? Alright, it was just 2. Alright, starting to take shape. Alright, so now it says I need the camshaft gear. And I believe that, yeah, that's that thing right there. It kind of looks like a car spoke, doesn't it? Looks like a wheel that you'd put on it. Where the heck did it go? Oh, there we go. Alright, it uses a 10mm, which I swapped out. Yeah, in between, I'm going to just swap out wrenches so I don't have to go through the arduous task of sorting through wrenches to find them. Oh. Alright, but anyways, it's fastened in. Camshaft gear, that is. Alright, so off screen I I went in the sauna because I think I had it going for quite long enough. And sure enough, it was working. So I cleaned myself up a little bit, only to get a little dirty again because I had to pee. I also had my thirst go up and my hunger go up. So I did both of those things, and now we're back here, ready to move on. I forgot where I left off, though, so I'll consult the guide again. Alright, so now what we need is the timing chain, which is this thing right here. It's funny because it looks less like a chain and more like some sort of brace, or something like that. Maybe it's just me. There's a lot of things that's probably just me. Then again, who knows? Now we need the timing cover. And this, I believe, is over here. So we're just going to put it on here, I believe, maybe. Yes. 6 millimeters. And there's 6 of them. That's pretty easy to remember. Gonna go into tool mode again. So it's 1. There we go. Okay, I gotta crouch a little bit in order to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Making sure. 6. Oh, and the other thing, the time I took to do the sauna and all that, I kind of, it's kind of later in the day now, so yeah. Also, my fatigue is going up. I don't know when it's going to max out, though, because then I'm going to have to go back to bed, and it's probably going to be dark when I get up. Alright, so now we move on to the water pump, which is right here. And it needs a 7mm wrench, which I just so happen to conveniently have. I switched it out, as I said. Okay, so tool mode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to make sure it was just 5. Alright, it's just 5. And my fatigue has gone all the way up. Looks like I'm going to have to call it a day here. But I will be back. And we are back. We are back into the world of my summer car. Well, then again, I didn't leave, so I don't know why I said that, dang it. So yeah, luckily it's daylight out and not pitch black like it usually is. So, let's get cracking on this engine. Get this thing finished, and then I'll call it an episode. Alright, so next we need the water pump pulley, which is this thing right here. It kind of looks like a flying saucer. And then we put it right there, and it uses the same type of wrench as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, it's only 4. You know, an idea just came to me. Why don't you just, why can't you just start the engine when it's outside of the car? So that way you know it runs. So you don't have to climb all over your car in order to operate on it and get it to start. Just a thought. It's probably going to be an unpopular one, though. Next, we need the crankshaft pulley. And it only has 1 bolt. It's an 11mm. Which I believe... Well, actually, no, it's not the biggest. But it's pretty big. As you can see here. This is what I was talking about, the attention to detail in this game. You have to use different size wrenches. You gotta use... there's a lot of parts that you have to put together. I like that, I must say. As frustrating as it can be sometimes, I like it. So now we need the alternator and the fan belt. So that's where the fan belt, which I bought, comes into play. So here's the alternator. I didn't grab it. Why didn't I grab it? Okay, hitboxes. Where's the... Gotta crouch down, get a better scope of what the heck. This one actually like interacts with the engine block. That's weird. Ooh, there we go. Now this one's kind of weird. It uses two different wrench sizes. There's 7mm. Well, isn't that just pleasant? And it uses a 10mm. And there's one of each, so there's two bolts I have to fasten. So where, number one, where is the 7? Ah, there it is. Right there. Okay. Now I just gotta find it on here. Okay, so this is the one they say is on top. I believe it's that one. Yeah. It's gotta be. It's tight. And now we need the 10mm. Almost landed on it. There it is. I believe it's behind. Yeah, it's behind. Alright, so that's good. Now we need the fan belt, which is right over here. For convenience sake. Okay, come on, attach it. There we go. Isn't it just glorious? Alright, and this is where... Actually, it looks like it's in the proper position like that, right there. Alright, so right here is another caption that's pretty essential. It says, take the screwdriver, adjust the alternator with the mouse scroll wheel so that it is just slightly touches the fan belt, and tighten the screw. Notice that if the fan belt is too loose, the car won't start at all. Yeah, and I made sure that I tightened it and all that, and it still wouldn't start. So, there's that. Actually, maybe I should take a closer look at the screenshot. Alright, so it's virtually phasing through the belt. I guess we're gonna have to change that, then. I've got a hand symbol. Why did it just go away? But here's the issue that I have. I tighten the screw here. Of course. Yeah, originally it would move the alternator as well, but I guess it's at its limit right there. So, yeah, I guess it doesn't do it that time. Okay, and I believe it's like all the way in. I think it is, anyways. Does that look all the way in? Could be better, but I don't know. Yeah, and suddenly I'm not able to... Actually, you know what? Maybe if I, No. Next, we move on to the engine plate, it looks like, which is this thing. And it goes towards the back here. I guess it's more of a protection device, and there's no screws needed. So, there's that. Next, we move on to the starter, which, if I remember correctly, uses a 7mm wrench. Alright, so it does take 7mm, a 7mm wrench. Can't remember where exactly it goes, though. I mean, it shows it in the guide, but, you know, that's too easy. It's kind of the kind of attitude that... I'll just check. Ah, there we go. So that's that. Tighten it. That's one. Where's the second? Ah, there it is. It's kind of on an angle there. There we go. Now we move on to the flywheel, which is right here. Once again, another flying saucer-shaped thing. And it uses the same wrench, so we're not going to have to switch it out. Which is always convenient. Ah, there we go. Take the wrench out. Tighten all 6 of the bolts. Three, 4, 5, and 6. Moving on, we have the clutch system to install. First and foremost is the clutch cover plate, which is this, as you can see. Just going to take that. Now, from what I remember, you just got to put these things together. And then you just got to attach the clutch disc. And then you take it and you attach it to the engine, which is the flywheel right here. Don't think I got it. Ah, there we go. And then it uses a 6mm, so you do that. And you screw it in. That's 1. That's 2, 3, 4. Dang it. 5. Excuse me if I get close to the camera. I'm just making sure I'm doing everything. Okay, and that's the 6th. So that's the clutch system installed there. Alright, now we move on to the essential bits, which starts off with the oil pan down here, this big hunk. So you take it, it goes on the bottom, as you can see. Now this is another one where it takes 2 kinds of wrenches in order to fasten it in. I got the first one right here. It's a 7mm. There's 8 of them. That's the first one tightened. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. I hope I didn't just screw something up in there. Dang it. Sixth. Seventh. And 8th. And now I need a 13mm, or the bad luck wrench, if you believe in that kind of stuff. You fasten it. I had an itch on my face. That's the oil pan installed. It's weird how tall it is in proportion with the car. But then you put it in, and then it all falls into place. Moving on, we go to a very, very essential component, and that is the gearbox. This is the thing that actually delivers power to the wheels, for those of you who are not mechanically endowed, I guess you could say. So for this also takes 2 kinds of wrenches. The first one's 7mm. I gotta switch it out. There are 6 7mm screws. So that's 1 right there. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. And then we need a 10mm wrench to do the last one. Alright, so it's over here. It's on like the side of the engine. I screw that in. And that's the gearbox installed. Now we move on to the driving gear, which is down here, I believe. Oh, holy crap, I remembered that. Okay, I gotta kind of move it around. Oh, there we go. There's a check. There we go. So, this thing takes a 6mm, and there are 7 to tighten in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I have no doubt that this stuff is what really screwed me up on the original build. Alright, so now the real essential parts are coming in right now. The real essential parts. Move on to the spark plugs. We need a spark plug wrench in order to do this. And that's what tightens them in, of course. Wouldn't be called a wrench if it didn't do that. So what you gotta do, since this is a 4-cylinder, there are 4 that go into the side here. What are you doing, cat? My cat's over there. I have the door closed, so the sounds are isolated, and she evidently wants to get out. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. There we go. I'm just gonna put all of them into place and then tighten them. And it is essential that you tighten them, or else the car won't get a spark, and therefore it won't start. No, actually, now that I think of it, have any of you people out there ever worked on a 4-cylinder engine? And if so, was it easy or was it kind of difficult? Because they are kind of small engines. Smaller engines, I should say. So maybe there are some really interesting nooks and crannies that you have to get into and all that, but at the same time, these parts are pretty big that I'm putting on. So I don't know. Now we move on to the fuel pump, which is this thing right here. Oh, I gotta keep forgetting I have to switch between tool mode and blah blah blah. And it goes somewhere on the side here. Oh, wait a minute, I just saw the check. There we go. And it takes a 7mm, and there are 2 screws that I need in order to bolt it on. Oh, okay, they're right here. So 1, 2. Simple as that. Alright, we're getting close. I can feel it. Up next is the distributor. This, I believe, we have to put somewhere in the... Okay, once again, it's interactable with the engine, so it moves it around. Okay, so this, I believe, goes somewhere on one of the sides of the engine. I believe it's here, this hole right here. Is it? I think it's... Yeah, it's this hole right here. It'll take a 6mm. Gotta screw it in. So 1. Where's the second one at? There's only 1. Never mind. Okay, so I believe that is the engine built. I still have to install it in the car, and there's some bits that I have to install when the engine is in the car. But I'm just going to leave it here, because I pretty much built the heart of the motor, right? Well, the heart of the car. The heart of the motor. What? Anyways, if you like this video, feel free to leave a like or comment. and subscribe. Really helps me out. Other than that, I will see you all on the flip side.